So I got an interesting gig story for you guys. And here's another reason why I don't work a 9 to 5. So some of y'all know I got over 16,000 deliveries. But sometimes things are gonna happen where you're just not gonna be able to do your job, or you're gonna make a mistake on a job. You get written up. It don't matter. That's another thing about 9 to 5 jobs too. It don't matter how good you do. You might be doing your job perfectly for 4 or 5 years straight. Show up every day, never call out sick. The moment you do something wrong, they'll use that as leverage against you as soon as they can. So they're actually looking for a reason to have something on you when you're on the job. Now, here's a situation, guys, where I had a order from a Wendy's to downtown Chicago, and I could not find this building, guys, for nothing. And the Gig Black map that I was using, I could not find this building. I even ended up in another building where a guy told me, he pointed across the river and said, "Oh, it's across the river over there." Guys, it's like Dark City, the movie. These people, they don't know where they at. They don't even know where they at. I told y'all about this a long time ago. You can ask somebody in some of these buildings, even in regular parts of the city, and be like, "What color is the building on the outside?" They don't know. Guys, I'm telling you the truth, man. It's like Dark City. Go watch the movie Dark City. Um, this is how sleep people is. Okay, they don't know. They don't actually know where they are. They're the robot. This is why, once again, Joseph Chaperone, his statement about most population of people being robots has got to be true. Also, I'm gonna leave a link, guys, on Bobby talking about the cloning process in the late 90s. And now we got this movie called Who Cloned Tyrone? Well, I'm going to leave in a link, guys. Bobby Hemming breaking it down, telling you there was only a remnant left. They called them the 144,000. There was only a remnant of black people left. Now, is there actually only 144,000 real black people left in the United States? Could be. Is that the reason why I'm seeing 144 everywhere? It's because I'm part of the last people. Everybody else been cloned out. It's very possible, guys. It's very possible. You understand? Because if I'm getting all these downloads from the universe, how come these other so-called black people ain't getting downloads? You understand what I'm saying? According to Bobby Hemmett, what he said in the 90s, there's only a remnant left of real black people. The rest of them been cloned out. And here was a guy saying this in the late 90s. Think about that, in the late 90s. When people thought, if you mention that in the late 90s, people think you insane. But here we are, and they come out with a movie, Who Cloned Tyrone? So there's not that many black people left. So my answer to all the foreigners that come over here and wonder what's wrong with these black people, they've been here for all this time. Well, they ain't done nothing for themselves. Most of us been killed off. That's what happened. There's only a remnant of us left. And the people coming from other countries, they're like the decoys to just fill in, you know, until this thing is destroyed. They're just like kind of like fill-ins. They're expendable too now. The foreigners coming over here thinking they doing this, and they're expendable too. I mean, do we have to talk about all the places that was closed down, except the big places like Walmart and McDowell's during the scamdemic? Do we have to talk? No, we don't shouldn't have to talk. All the big corporations, they made more money than ever. Shut down all the places the small people work and shut them places down. So the foreigners that come here, they're expendable. They just don't know it yet. Or some of them do know it, but they're expendable too. So there's no reason to ever look down on another race. It's just like when I went to Cambodia. I was treated more better than the people living there. Why? Because I was a foreigner. You're actually treated better as a foreigner in a country than our own citizens. When you're a citizen in your own country, you are like how do you say? You are like a piece of merchandise in the store. But when you come from another country into another country, you're like the buyer, right? You're more important because you're putting money into that country. They don't care how you getting the money. All that matters is that you putting money into their system. So that's the irony of this place, man. You're actually treated better as a foreigner than if you're a citizen in your own country. But anyway, guys, I could not find this building. I could not find this building, and I called Gig Black, and they still paid me anyway for the ride. And the lady asked me on the phone. She said, "Did you call the customer for they can give you?" I said, "Ma'am," listen to this, y'all. This is what I told her. I said, "I'm not gonna call the customer because I guarantee you the customer is not gonna know how to tell me to get to their building. And while I'm in the process of talking to the customer, they're gonna be giving me a thumbs down because they're gonna get upset that they're not getting their food. So the ma'am, the woman finally from Gig Black, she decided to call the customer to see if she can get any instructions. And when she got back on the line with me, sir, the customer is unable to provide me instructions on how to actually get. I said, see, that's what I told you. The people, they don't even know what they are. I said, that's why I'm not. Guys, this is how I talk to me. Now imagine talking to your boss like that on the job. You get an order, you tell your boss, no, I'm not doing this because this is gonna happen. That boss ain't gonna care. You getting written up, and maybe even fired. For not for just simply saying I'm not doing this order. But guess what? I can tell Gig Black that I'm not doing an order because I'm not calling the customer, because all the customer is going to tell me is they ain't gonna know where they are. And that's exactly what she told the lady when she called her. She said, I'm sorry, but I cannot explain to this driver how to get. Now guys, keep in mind, I'm from Chicago, and I have 12,000 Gig Black deliveries. And I had no idea what this building is. Never heard of it. I think I was on the street. The map. When you go into these downtown areas too, the GPS doesn't work. Somebody needs to investigate that. Why the GPS systems don't work in the downtown areas? They don't. It just simply don't work. They might tell you where to go, but you get over in that area, and then it's gonna be flipping all upside down and telling you to make a left and a right. And you don't. The GPS is it doesn't work in certain places in downtown cities. But I knew the area that the building was in, and I'm just thinking the whole time. I even saw the street that the building was allegedly on. I couldn't figure out how to even get to that street. I'm like, how do you get there? Because when I make this left turn, I end up under here. And then when I came from underneath where I went under, it took me all the way a mile from where I was supposed to. I said, what in the world is this? You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all, I just thought I'd tell y'all a story. I refused to order and still got paid. Can your 9 to 5, would your 9 to 5 do that to you? Or would you get written up or fired? Y'all tell me.